Hello all, I'm Shiki. Long time no see. My FF07 case here. Of course, this has been taken apart. So when I designed this case, I figured folks with 5,080 seconds or 5,090 seconds would want a beefier CPU to match, right? So I added an external a water cooling port for it as well. But so much time has passed now, and we've sold 500 to 600 units. Seems like besides the ROG enthusiast I've seen, and maybe one or two folks in MePlayer group who tried the custom water cooling setup, no one's installed it. I think it's still very necessary to offer an official solution and provide all of you with these parts and explain the installation so folks can later upgrade their CPU cooling on their own. Our water block here is the Apex one from Oku, which costs over 1,000 yuan. So why did I pick this one? So I measured the size and tried it out, then found these two water ports after adapters. And it lines up perfectly with the copper block's outlet down below here. I'll put two straight things here for you to see. Then this outlet here is off-center compared to that one, right? But I just need this EK 90 degree angled fitting plus a 7mm extension adapter on top of that. And then add a 90-degree adapter, and that achieves this effect. Also, I checked some overseas reviews, and this cooler's performance is quite solid, so I'd recommend it. So I'll start by connecting the CPU water block inside the case to the water path of the first adapter block. First, let me introduce a small part. This is the quick lock for 3mm tubing. Open it up. When installing, we usually first slide this sleeve over the hose, part 0854. Then push this hose into the fitting. Then twist the sleeve on to lock it in place securely. Its other end has the threads and the rubber ring. This end just connects straight to my adapter block. Tighten it as tight as you can. When removing, if you have a wrench of the right size, you can unscrew it via the hexagonal slot left inside this water port opening right here. No need to worry, but you gotta know this thing. Yeah, don't twist it too tight, then you can't budge it, and you won't know how to take it off, so you start using weird big pliers to force it apart. They all got twisted up. The next thing to introduce is the 90-degree rotary adapter. Its function, as the name suggests, bends the water pipe direction by 90 degrees. Twist it onto the CPU's radiator head location. Before installing this, I think I should connect the hoses quick fit to the water pipe. This water outlet on the CPU water block, as I just mentioned, you'll need a 90-degree adapter, then a 7mm extension block, then another 90-degree adapter. Then I'll fit a quick connect for the tube. It's easier to install the tube. First, I'll do the tube then. Cut the pipe here with scissors. But my scissors are a bit small. Cut the hose with scissors. Then slide this hose onto the bit. Then fit this quick twist cap on. Then put on the other quick cap too. Don't mix up the direction now. This one twist up. Okay. This right angle connector won't twist in quite right then. Alright, let's try a simpler way to install. Since this water pipe is too short, there's not much flex room left. When installing, you'll strain your hand either way. It has to fit the cap or the pipe. The pipe might be too stiff to fit, so I'll trim the length of this end of the pipe first. Then I'll remove the copper block from below. Take that bottom copper bit off. Then once this end is all connected, twist the copper block with both quick clamps onto the tube. Tore it down this far, so we can pull this copper block off first. This hose is so tight, no matter which end, just let one side come down. Don't make me wait so long. So folks like Teacher Aiken, so fit and trim, and Teacher Coco that chubby guy so buff. Must be from doing split water systems. Watch me, I can't even yank a hose loose. This quick twist goes on the copper block, so this end is all set. Now let's attach the CPU side next, then hook up the hose with a quick twist. Took me a while, but this part inside the case is now done. This chassis base part seems a bit tricky to install too. Take it slow. Pull the rails all the way, then slip on the base. Give it a feel. Folks, the base plus front panel that screw in the slide rails and steel axle hole has some clearance built in. We need to angle this via the clearance here to get that 90-degree adapter in from this spot and twist it on. If you already installed all these parts first, then trying to add that 90-degree angled fitting won't work. So next up, we've got a thrilling part of routing pipes through the base. First, we need a 45-degree elbow here. From the name alone, you know it turns 45 degrees. We got a 90-degree elbow. Fitting also needs a quick lock to secure the pipe base. I just fumbled around a bit and twisted two quick clamps right onto these two 90-degree bends. Then these two outward-facing adapters here, one side has a quick lock. The other has a 45-degree adapter plus a quick lock. To make it easier, I sorta lined it up. Then I thought this should work just fine for now, but this tube might be a pain to install. So I'll measure the tube's length first thought, it's a bit more pressurized. This is almost all pipe and these quick connect fittings, both fittings are almost jammed. Well, through my tireless effort, this tube is now attached. Then I slide on this sleeve. And this one's so easy to fit. My goodness. Wow. So up till now, the whole in-machine tubing setup is pretty much done. And this wire here, well, the space beneath the quick connect is too tight for it, so it just gets squished here. But just right here, the space between this base cover, and it is enough to hold the wire, so to speak. After an hour or so of fiddling, I finally finished installing all the water tubing inside the case. So the GPU is back in now as well. Let me show you this side, through the original CPU intake shroud. You can faintly see the water tubes and the fittings inside. Then down here as well, you can see the copper adapter and the metal fittings from the quick connect tubing. This look feels kind of neat, I gotta say. It's different from just having a fan mounted there, you know? And right here at the tail are the in-out water ports for these tubes. This time I chose a stop valve quick plug. The neat thing is one end has these screw threads, and the other end connects to the hose there. So that connects up. Then just pull this leaf back a bit, and it comes off. Then with regular straight quick plugs, a couple drops might drip when you plug or unplug. But this spot is entirely outside the case, and it's the lowest point on the exterior as well. So these 2 little water drops won't affect any hardware safety in the case at all. For this part of the case, twisting these 2 water stop quick plugs is enough. Let me check the CPU water blocks in the out ports. The top port is the inlet, the bottom is the outlet. Switching to the bottom, the middle port here, that's more centrally located, is the inlet. This one's the outlet. As everyone knows, when I did FF04 last year, I built a water cooling rig, but honestly I couldn't mass produce it afterward at all. Trying to do mold making, custom parts, coolers myself, but I just lacked the time and cash to fund all that. It was way too tough, no mass production. But there are other products out there, you know, so today we're not using this water cooler. What's the other one like instead? As everyone knows, the case's outer size doesn't count as volume. Though it's a bit big, it's got all aluminum CNC casing too, and it sells for over 3,000. I think that price is quite fair. Before I saw the real machine, I'd only seen the pics on their Taobao link. Looking at that P key, don't sense its size felt more like a small desktop tower standing upright. So I'll give a quick intro then. So this thing looks pretty big here. And from the fan placement, you can see it has 9 × 12 centimeters fans. So it's basically a cooling radiator called 1080. On its front side, there's a control screen that shows fan speeds and temperature stats, plus some control features too. But I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not sure about that. Then the 2 at front are its water in-out ports, and the 2 above are for filling and venting air. Up top, there's a big water tank as well. So we need to link it to this main unit via 2 rather long flexible hoses, connecting the 2 water ports in and out to these 2 ports here. I just checked its Taobao link and saw that the top one is the inlet, the bottom one is the outlet. So the connection is the lower outlet here, matching the inlet on our computer main unit up top. Then our PC's water outlet connects to the top inlet. First, remove the caps from both inlet and outlet. I connected 2 90-degree adapters. The benefit is when you twist the tube down here, the part that locks down there doesn't rotate with it, you see? So when you adjust the tube's angle, it won't loosen up and cause leaks. I've got 2 shortish tube pieces left in hand, so I won't trim them yet. Just fit them up as they are. This part is much more comfy. That's the part outside the case since it's a full integrated water cooler, no assembly needed. Like with old school split water units inside where you had to build pumps, radiators, fans. So now these 2 coolant tubes are all set. The right way to assemble is side. This port to this port. Just push it on. Same with this port to this port. Just push. When separating the hose from the cooler, just pull out this quick disconnect plug with a stop. Right behind it, there's a special power interface. Yep, industrial grade stuff. The DC power box is all industrial. The wiring spots use twist screws like this. Then one end of the wiring is like this. A hefty aviation connector. Then the star terminal connector is positive and negative, leads twist this way. The plug goes in the backside here. Then tighten it, go once, insert it. The other end has a regular cable, like the one for our rice cooker. This end also lets you twist screws on the wiring connector here. So I'll assemble it, then power it up and fill it with water to check for leaks and if it lights up. It started spinning, but the noise is loud. I'll try to power first. Can't let it run dry too long. So I'll add some water to it now. So right now this big syringe holds 550 milliliters of water right here on the chiller's front. You can see the water level in its tank clearly. I jammed half the syringe in and the level's just here. This water is past its inlet port already. I think I added a full liter. Should be enough for circulation. Power it up and test. The water level inside is sloshing wildly. Okay, well, that 1 liter of water is enough. It's already cycling. A bit over the top. This fan's no ordinary fan. Full speed 5,300 revolutions per minute. So cool! As a water cooling unit, I think it's a very good water cooling unit. Then it's just too industrial. First off, this power supply leaves regular users feeling totally lost. It's a bit too harsh. Just have a regular user grab a brick adapter, plug in a DC port for power.8. Works just fine, you see? Plus this super aggressive industrial fan here. Regular users might find it too harsh for them. The reason for this video stems from folks' concerns about cooling for these low-profile air-cooled PCs. I've always kept this port ready, so I can install a sample setup for everyone. Now it's all installed, so we'll definitely test its performance. So for the performance testing, we'll hand it off to our RCO to run the tests. So after the performance test, we'll list all the water cooling parts used in this rig and put it at the end of the video as a reference for you all. Of course, you don't have to copy ours, exactly. Some details can be tweaked to suit your own needs.
Okay, now we're at the performance test. Room temp is around 30 degrees Celsius, which is quite an extreme environment. So before we start testing, I'll go over the system specs. Motherboard is ROG X870 iPad with AMD 9950 X3D iGPU. It's ROG Astro Gold 5080p SU. It's ROG Loki 1200W. I fiddled with this water-cooled rig a bit, and when the panel shows under 15%, its UL fans don't even spin up. So we'll take 15% as the lowest point for the first test run. Then for the second test, we set it to 50%, and the third test we just max it out. That's about all the prep we needed. These 3 rounds of tests were run with BIOS defaults, using CPU bonus stress test for 10 mins. Current temps are sitting at 47 degrees Celsius. And fan speed is over 1000 RPMs. So we'll start with the first test run. So at 15% fan speed, we've been stress testing for 10 minutes now. We can see the 9950 X3D draws just 200W under default settings. And temps are running at 80 degrees now. The max clock speed now is 5.0. We're about to start round 2 tests, ramping it up to 50%. The sound has kicked in. Okay, we ran 10 mins at 50% RPM and saw temps drop by 2 degrees Celsius compared to the first round here. Power draw stays at 200W and core frequencies haven't changed much at all, really. So next we'll max out the RPMs and run the third round of tests. Baked it another 10 mins. Temp dropped another degree VS the second round. The clock speeds didn't change much either, but the noise got 30 way louder. I swear.
Just watch Nishu's test. I doubted if the CPU water block was installed right, so I ran R23 multi-core again. This R23 multi-core ran 10 minutes, top CPU temp hit 75 degrees Celsius, and the score came out to 41,900. Then single core got 2,000, and that score seems quite normal. Looks like I underestimated the Ryzen 9 9950 X3D's heat. Getting 70 to 80 degrees Celsius under full load seems pretty normal, I guess. Well, for users with CPU cooling concerns, this is a pretty solid solution to be sure. But this big water cooler they have now is overkill, so we surely have some other options to pick. Earlier I saw on Taobao had one made for like 1,000 or so bucks. Though that brand copied me RAM armor before, I guess their water cooler should work just fine. Of course, for this by one here, I heard their boss say they've made a desktop-sized small version already, and they're working on it. Should be out soon. If I were to make a product like this, I'd likely move these front water in-out ports down to the bottom, underside of the unit. Then have it fit with the bottom of my machine's base. I'd probably do it like that. And I hope future manufacturers will think about not putting control panels and pipes all in one spot. This would be more convenient for industrial use. Yeah. But for desktop level stuff, folks will surely care more about placement and looks. Okay, that's it for this video. See ya all later.